Next card is the Lovers. The Lovers card connects to the Hebrew letter Zayin, which means sword. So the Lovers, sort of like discernment. And so the Lovers are Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. And Adam was told by God, according to Gnostic like scriptures, that God told Adam, maybe even in the like the in the Bible, it might also be the same thing, I think. But God told Adam that he could not eat from the tree of knowledge or he'll die. But then years later, Eve was born and created, but God never told Eve that she couldn't eat from the tree. So Eve, she felt like in her gut, like maybe it's okay, maybe I should. I'm gonna see because I don't know. Like I wasn't told I'm gonna die. Like Adam will die, but I'm not gonna die. So she had to use her own like sense of discernment. And so when she goes to the tree, there's a serpent in the tree, and serpent always represents wisdom, right? So she goes to the tree, and the serpent's the only animal that can talk. And he was like, "You really think you're gonna die? Like you're not gonna die." I think that's like verbatim from the Bible. It's like you're not gonna die. You really think you're gonna die? She goes, "No, I don't think so. Like my gut's telling me I won't, and that I should eat the tree of knowledge." And so she did, and she didn't die. And then whenever they she like took the risk and it paid off. And the risk was actually like a whole like plan of God's plan because they needed some like desire for desire because they've been drinking bliss on tap and they didn't know what good was. You know, they didn't have a desire because they were like, I just get everything, like I'm spoiled. Like, you know, but they just needed like a desire to receive pleasure. I think that's the term that Kabbalah uses. Just a desire to receive something. And so they did get kicked out of the garden and they had to be forced into the real world. But God sent the angel Raziel, and Raziel gave them a book and a manual. And he said, look, this book will tell you everything about the real world outside the garden. Just follow the rules. And if you ever need me, I'm just like a phone call away. Or just call on me. I'll come and help. And so it shows how they take a risk, they trust their gut and their sense of discernment, and they get paid off. Like it was all okay. And it was almost like God's plan for you to risk. Because if we don't step outside of our comfort zones and take a little bit of a risk, we're never going to grow. And that's how you grow. So sometimes this card could be like someone comes to you and advises you to take a risk, just like the snake said you should do it. Sometimes it's something that someone told you don't do it, but your gut tells you differently. Just like God said, don't eat from the tree, but your gut said you should. It's like take the risk. And then also in the story, Adam was first, and then Eve was second. Like created second. But so he felt like she was a gift from God. So this is like the soulmate cards, the lovers. And so she was a gift to him. And so they he follows her. And so she ate from the tree first, and then she got him to eat second. And he didn't know because Adam at the time was considered a golem. I don't know if you know what Gollum is, but it's like a Frankenstein. Remember Gollum from the Lord of the Rings? He's not quite a person. He's like this beast. But Gollum's like something you create out of clay, and Adam was created out of clay. So he didn't have consciousness. And so that's why Eve didn't really ask for his advice, because he was like a baby or like a dog. And so she took the lead. And then Adam, he couldn't trust his own discernment, but he trusted in Eve. So you see this in readings where the man follows the woman, he trusts in her, takes her lead. A lot of times you see that. Another time too, if you want to look even deeper, in the Gnostic beliefs, Adam's first wife was Lilith. And then Lilith was not going to be subordinate to Adam. So she said, she left. And then before she left, she waited till Adam was asleep, or she made him go to sleep somehow, like drugged him. And then she created an Eve, which was like a twin version, like a clone of Lilith. And then whenever Adam woke up, he found the new Eve. And she was a little dumbed down version of Lilith, but still had that spark of intelligence, just like Lilith did. So she wasn't as smart as Lilith, but still way smarter than Adam. And that's why women always develop faster than men. And then men are only good if they can attach themselves to a very strong woman and they can put their trust in them. Even their mother sometimes. And then we'll go even further. Even the story of Lilith, like she is a woman that was the ex That comes up in relationships a lot. The ex left, broke Adam's heart, and then now, and she will never be back because she's better than Adam. That comes up a lot. And then also Angel Raziel. So Angel Raziel, he's connected to the sun. And if you count the sun rays, there's 45. And 45 is one of those numbers that's huge in the tarot cards. It's in so many places. We'll show you. But 45 is Jehovah, because Jehovah's 4 letters has a numerical value of 26. But when you spell out each letter in word form, then add up all those letters, then you get 45. So 45 and 26 is interchangeable with Jehovah. So that's why I see 45 sun rays. So Raziel comes straight from Jehovah as a messenger and helper for Adam and Eve. And he's like a mentor. And he sits over this mountain, which is the mountain of the sun, which is called Horeb in the Bible. And Horeb means like glowing heat. So it's the mountain of the sun. And the Kabbalist mystics, they said their story that every morning, right in front of Mount Horeb, Angel Raziel would present himself and he would share all the secrets of God with the people. Every morning, every time the sun rose. And another thing, this card, when it's the high sun time, I think it's around like Gemini, because it's like a Gemini card, like the twins, just like Adam and Eve were twins, because they're, according to the story, like Eve was created out of Adam's rib. But also Eve, to the Gnostic story, is that she was Lilith's twin. That's why when Adam woke up and saw Eve, he thought she was Lilith because they look the same. So twins. And then also, so during this time in the Jewish tradition, you have this holiday called Tu B'Av, which is just like Valentine's Day. And so Valentine's Day and Tu B'Av, you have these women that go inside the vineyard and they all wear white, so no one can tell like who's rich or poor. And they try like their beautifulest or most beautiful. And so the suitors will come pluck them off the vine and wish for them to be the new wife. So again, it's still the man who goes after the woman. And like a soulmate connection because the sun, soul, soulmate. And Adam and Eve were soulmates and they were twins. And twins are connected no matter what. On the soul level, share the same DNA. And if you go even further in this card, there's so Eve took the forbidden fruit, right? But if you count the fruits inside the tree, there's 4. And the Jewish people believe that the forbidden fruit was grapes. So there's 4 grapes. And then 4 is like there's 4 grouped all together. It connects to the 4th sphere on the Kabbalah tree of life called Hesed. Hesed means mercy. So it shows that if she eats the fruit, she'll be shown mercy, which she was. In the other card that she's in, she in the devil card, she has a tail with 13 grapes. 13 is like there's a 13 attributes of God's mercy that's inside the book of Exodus. And the whole phrase, it has 13 instances where God is so merciful. And it explains all the different styles and types of mercy. And if you look at Adam, he stands by a tree of life. Because this is knowledge, tree of knowledge, of good and evil. And then there's also the tree of life, the 2 trees in the Garden of Eden. So the tree of life, I think it has 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So it has 12 flames on this tree of life, because fire, life, and spark of life. And the 12 just connects to things that are controlled and govern life on earth. The 12 zodiac houses. I know when God rules over everybody, he rules them over on the 13th level, because that's like above earth and above earth's rules.